What would you do if you were a guy, if you are sent to school and your teacher is a nun flirting with you and more? After watching this retelling, you will see what can happen if a nun falls in love with a student and opens up new pleasurable experiences to the guy. She is addicted to her temptations as she is persistent towards her disciple. But the way the situation unfolded until the end of the movie was a surprise to everyone. It's movie recap zone and a new retelling. I will tell you about it very soon. Enjoy the video. Jason is a young guy who is fond of music and plays guitar amazingly. At the beginning of the movie, he writes an address to his audience and informs them that his parents are sending him to Catholic school again, which he is not happy about. He wrote a song about it. At this point, we get a woman arriving in the parking lot who is dressed up as a nun. She's very attractive, but it's clearly not her clothes. Parents bring their children Jason and his sister Zoe to school. The boy immediately sees the girl Sarah, who likes the musician. The boy's father gives instructions and says that he is not happy that his son took a guitar, as he came to study and not to have fun. They are met by his sister Rebecca, who is happy to see the family. Jason shows his displeasure and leaves. Sister Rebecca promises to look after him. At the same time, Sister Sophia already waiting for Rebecca to interview for a job at the school. Having studied the girl's resume, Sister Rebecca sees only positive recommendations and is completely satisfied with it. As it turns out, Sister Sophia had previously worked in Montana and only recently came here. At this school, teachers are forbidden to wear makeup, so Sophia wipes her lips right away. Then they go to the room where Sophia will live. On the way, they meet Jason, who will be Sophia's teacher. As it turns out, Jason had a rough summer because he wrecked his dad's car. Sophia is shown to her room, and as we can see, she's hiding something, as the suitcase doesn't contain her clothes, but there's something more interesting in the bag. Zoe prays for herself and her brother to have a successful year. Jason tells his friends that the number of music fans is steadily increasing. Meanwhile, Sister Sophia enjoys the guy's songs and kisses him through the laptop monitor. Then enjoys the guy at rehearsal. Sophia compliments the guy on his talent and asks him to play guitar, which he is happy about. As it turns out, Sophia is just learning to play. She completely understands the guy, and if he has no one to talk to, he can come to her after class. In the classroom, Sarah flirts with Jason and Sophia notices it. Her sister immediately approaches Sarah Croft and makes her realize that she will have problems with her studies. In order to separate the classmates, Sarah is moved to the first desk. Sophia gets acquainted with the class and Zoe proposes to start with morning prayer. The students immediately notice that Sister Sophia does not pray, which alarms the girl. After the lesson, she immediately shares her observation with Jason. He gets a message from Sarah and leaves. On the way to the room, he meets Sister Sophia, who asks if the guy has a girlfriend, and he says that he does not. The nun is delighted. When she gets to her room, Sophia undresses and listens to the guy's songs. In the morning, Sarah tries to please Jason, gives him a couple of compliments and kisses him. Sophia notices this and stops the couple. Sarah tells him that her father is funding the school, but Sophia doesn't care and plans to get rid of the competition. After class, she leaves Jason in the office to talk. Sophia invites the guy to her room after class to continue the conversation without witnesses. Back in the room, Sophia undresses and opens the door so the guy can see her stunning form, trying to knock on the door. He notices that Sophia is oiling herself and has a stunning figure. The guy can't take his eyes off the way the teacher strokes herself, knowing that the guy is watching her. At night, he remembers what he saw and can't sleep. He imagines his sister Sophia in his fantasies in which they had a close encounter. In the morning, Sophia meets Jason and says that he is a bad boy, as he did not come after school and does not forgive him for it. After that, his parents take him home for the weekend. Sarah comes to him to meet him at home and his sister Sophia notices it. She makes up a reason to leave for the weekend, saying that she needs to visit her sick aunt, and Rebecca lets her go. When he gets home, the guy plays guitar. Zoe tells him that he wants to go to university, which his parents are very happy about. They are also interested in where the boy wants to go and do not agree with his choice, as he wants to study music for a year after school. His mother supports him, but his father does not believe his son and Jason leaves. His sister Sophia comes to his house, and while the guy is singing, she enjoys the song. But suddenly, she hears a call to the guy. It turns out to be Sarah. After that, Sophia gets angry and leaves. When she arrives back at school, she sneaks into Sarah's room to plant a cigarette on her. While the students are asleep, she does so and leaves the room. Suddenly she is met by her sister Rebecca and Sophia makes up a reason why she is here. Zoe hears the conversation in the morning in class. After prayer, Sophia says to open the books. Sarah discovers a cigarette and is expelled from school. They go to Jason's room and Sophia puts a bottle under his bed. After she is discovered and Jason is questioned, Sophia stands up for the guy and convinces him to give him a second chance. She offers to keep Jason in school this weekend to redeem himself. Everyone agrees to this punishment. The Holy Father asks the girl when Sophia first heard the voice of God. She confesses that she heard a song that seemed to have been written for her. We see that Sophia has been following Jason since before they first met. She discovers that the school where the boy is going is hiring teachers. The girl finds Sophia's real sister to take her place. The brother tells Zoe he's staying at the school for the weekend. So that the parents don't suspect anything, the sister stays with him. When the boy is working outside, Sophia comes over to help him. At the same time, she questions the guy's parents. He confesses that the best thing he knows how to do is to play, so he wants to continue doing it. Zoe notices that Sophia is trying to seduce the boy, which he doesn't mind. In the evening, Sister Sophia comes to Jason's room to get to know him. She puts the camera on the bed. The guy wakes up and Sophia kisses him. She says she understands him completely and wants to get to know the guy as much as possible. She takes off her outfit and lies down with the guy. He is nervous and Sophia calms him down. They continue what they started. Sophia gets double the pleasure as everything is filmed. In the morning, the guy meets Sophia again, and she tells the guy not to be nervous as they don't belong here. Sophia convinces the guy not to tell his sister, then he leaves. At the same time, she goes into his room and sniffs some of his stuff. Zoe sees what's going on. Sophia tells the girl to leave as the guy's room is off limits to other female students. Later, Nona meets her brother and tells him who she met in his room. Her sister Sophia is watching. At the end of the lesson, Sophia shows Zoe's bad test score and suggests she retake the test after class. The nun puts the answers upstairs for Zoe to use. The guys discuss Sister Sophia that she is very hot, but you can't get close to her. After class, Zoe walks into the classroom and finds a folder with the answers. Before she can read them, Sophia suddenly walks in and says the girl is cheating. Rebecca does not punish the girl as Zoe is a good student and forgives her. The schoolgirl admits that her sister Sophia is acting strangely and she doesn't pray with the class. Rebecca lets the girl go and begins to suspect that something is wrong. Later, Jason comes to confession. Turns out I listened to him. Sophia then walked in on the guy. I started sinning right on the spot. They continued to savor the moment and enjoyed themselves. A little later, the bishop of the rally arrives at the school, who knows the real Sophia. He asks about the girl and Rebecca says that Sophia has adapted well to the team. Sophia hears what the bishop says and discreetly leaves. Rebecca catches up with the girl and Sophia says that her aunt is dying and she needs to leave immediately. In the evening, Sophia arrives at Jason's house and listens to his song. At the table, the family discusses further plans for the future. The guy leaves again and goes to Sarah's party. They head to the bedroom. At the most interesting, Jason remembers what happened with Sophia and distances himself from Sarah. Heading home, Jason is stopped by the police as he sees a bottle in his hand. Seeing that the guy is being questioned, the nun helps him. Since Jason can't go home drunk, they go to a hotel room. Sophia understands the guy and changes her clothes. She says she has a lot of money and invites the guy to go away with her. The guy turns her down and she gets angry. Jason is found by his father. They reconcile and the father admits that Jason was right. He's willing to support his son and find a compromise. They're glad things are working out. In the morning, Zoe sees her sister Sophia driving away from their house. She begins to suspect something, and the schoolgirl decides to find the owner of the car. After Jason goes to his room, he sees Sophia lying on the bed with no signs of life and decides to save her. As it turns out, Sophia is fine and she was pretending to kiss a guy. He promises to tell everything, but Sophia threatens the guy to tell his parents. Zoe calls her brother and tells him she found the owner of the car. He asks her not to tell anyone and Zoe agrees. In the morning during the prayer, Sister Rebecca sees that Sophia does not really read the prayer and then goes to the classroom and informs that Sarah will go back to school. Rebecca tells that the girl was reinstated because of her parents. Sophia sees a guy being hit on by Sarah and leaves the guy after class. Jason rejects the woman, after which he leaves for Sarah. Nun sees that the couple is back together and decides to get rid of her rival. While Jason plays guitar, Sophia is angry in her room. She comes up with a plan to get rid of Sarah. When she gets in the shower, she eliminates the girl. Zoe finds her. Jason suspects Sophia's involved, but to keep the guy quiet, she shows him a video of them sleeping together. He asks her to delete the video, but his sister Sophia won't do it until they leave together. The parents take the kids away again for the weekend. In order to go to pick them up, Sophia makes up that she has to go to her aunt's funeral. A family is having dinner at a restaurant, and suddenly Sophia walks in. She comes over to meet the guy's parents, and the father invites Sophia to have dinner with him. Jason doesn't want to, but his dad insists. They ask the teacher where she's from. Zoe notices an inaccuracy in the nun's story. Sister Rebecca learns that Aunt Sophia does not exist and that the girl did not visit the hospital. Jason tells Zoe that the nun was flirting with him, and there was a sequel. That's why Sophia is stalking him. She also has a video she's blackmailing the guy with. They suspect it's not the real Sister Sophia, but they can't prove it yet. While Sister Rebecca is investigating the situation with Sophia, the schoolboys sneak into the nun's room and open the door with a screwdriver. Sophia excuses herself, but Rebecca doesn't believe her. Finding the laptop, the school children do not find the photos with Sister Sophia, or rather they find them, but with another woman. Jason finds a second laptop on which he sees a folder with her photos. At the same time, she punches Rebecca and closes the door. The school kids look for Rebecca but can't find her. They are caught up with her sister Sophia. The students show her laptop and learn her real name is Laura Patterson. Sophia confesses that she fell in love with a guy because of a song he wrote for her, but Jason says he didn't even know her and calls her crazy. She punches Zoe and disarms Jason. Suddenly, Sister Rebecca shows up and it's bare-knuckle fighting. While Sophia is choking Rebecca, Jason seizes the moment and stops Sophia with a screwdriver. At the end of the school year, which was difficult, Rebecca is glad that everything ended well. Her father gives Zoe a car and Jason an expensive guitar, showing that he supports his son in his endeavors. The denouement of the movie kept my attention until the end. Write in the comments, what do you think about this turn of events? What would you do in Jason's shoes if you met a nun who was in love with a schoolboy? Pay attention to detail to uncover the signs in the film Bad Sister. See you in the next retellings.